You can go on mute. Okay. So in the last session, we have seen like how to create an EPV, how to create an environment variable, how to change those EPV and environment variables for administration console or like process admin console. Next, there is also like one more variable called as resource bundle or localization resource. So what is the purpose of this resource bundle or localization resource? So resource bundle or localization resource, uh, like we will be using this in two ways. Okay, let me show you like how to create that. For example, I'm writing some general system service. Where we are in our process app. No, let me go into our process app where we are doing all ours. My new process app, mere process. Okay, working with resource bundle. Okay, working with resource bundle. For example, we are having something like in your business scenario, something like hard-coded values we have to write. Like something like hard-coded values we have to write. So if, for example, there is a variable called some message, I'm taking a private variable, some message. So in your code, there is something like this, like tw dot local dot message equals something like please press any key. There is something called a message tw dot local dot message equal to please press any key. Okay, fine. Now, what is the purpose of this resource bundle? So if I go to the user interface, I can see an option called as resource bundle, localization resource. So what I'm calling that resource bundle or localization resource, both are same. Resource bundle or localization resource, both are same. Okay. So when I click on this localization resource, okay. So you are working for my new year process, like I'm writing my new year process, resource bundle, something name I have kept. So I'm using this in different ways. See here. So you want to like put that in a resource bundle. So what is the as per the best practices or what is the intention of the resource bundle is like now like you don't want to like use that hard coded values. You don't want to use the hard coded values. You want to replace them with some keys. Here I am writing. Here there is an option called as message. So when I click on here message, see right there nothing is there. When I click on here, here I am getting an option default locale. For this message, what is that default locale? Okay. Here value I am giving. Please press any key. So in order to submit, you have to press this Alt Enter. Alt Enter. Okay. Fine. Completed. If you want to add like one more, no, here you have to write the something. Here you have to write the something, and then click on add. Then across the default locale, you can add some value. Okay. So this is like actually like this is only just a way like to avoid the hard coded values in your code. To avoid the hard coded values in your code. Okay. So if I am replacing that, how to do the use that in my code? working with resource bundle. Okay, here I want to access the whatever I have created there. So first of all, let me show you like how the message is getting. Just I'm debugging my general system service. Okay, see here what is the value of message. Please press any key. Okay, so now I'm just replacing with this with hardcode with the resource bundle. TW dot. See, there is, these are all namespaces. You can also see a namespace called as a resource. You can also see a namespace called as a resource. So select this resource dot, but you can't see the resource which you created. So in order to see the resource which you created in the variable like EPV, how you did? You clicked on link EPV, right? Similarly, for this localization also, you need to select, click on this link localization. So when you click on this link localization, I am clicking on this link localization. When you click on this link localization, it will like show you like list of resource bundles which are available. The list of resource bundles which are available. I am just selecting that resource bundle. So I got that resource bundle added to my variable section. Now control space, I got this. My new year process resource bundle. Dot some message string. So I accessed this from resource bundle. Okay, now just debug is, yeah, you got that message. Please press any key. Okay, this is like how to use the resource bundle. If anybody asks you to like a resource bundle, like in order to avoid the hard coded values, in this way you have to click and in this way you have to use. Okay, but as per like purely we are saying like resource bundle is generally most of the organizations don't use the concept of the locale for this purpose. They will use for changing the language settings. Language setting in the sense this resource bundle is also useful. See here by default what was the locale? I am having by default locale as some India. So by default locale as India. Even like I can change like the locale which I am having. Okay. So if I want to like display some of the text in Telugu also or Hindi or whatever it language, you can also like select that text as well. So this actually in the our course content there is one section like when a user logs in like so and so language, when he selects some preferred language, everything has to be changed in the preferred language. So in such type of like in that actually in that topic we are going to like use that default locale. As of now we are discussing about just how to use the variables itself. So like this is the way like how this resource bundle will be useful in order to like if there is any practices, best practices followed in the organization, like we should not use any like localization, we should not use any hard-coded values, you can go with this. So how like EPV ENV, what can you say about this localization resource? So what can you say about this localization resource is like a localization resource or resource bundle is like which are the we are replacing the variables with the text which are like constants which will not change in the future at all. They are constants, they will not change in the future at all. Something you have hard coded something like please press any key or please open the below URL. Okay, such type of things, no, in future they won't change, in future they won't change. So such type of variables you have to put it in localization resource. Okay, if it is constant but will change in the future, then which type of variable you need to create? it will be constant but will change in the future. It is a business constant, then you will go for EPV. It is not business constant, it will change in the future, that is ENV. Okay, from admin console, like we don't have the option to like change this local change this resource bundle value. So what we are saying, like resource bundle, like once you have like in order to like replace a constant which will not be changed in future, you will be using in resource bundle. Is it clear?
Yeah, Jagdish, one question here.
Yeah.
What is the scope of this one? It's across the PD, is it?
Scope of the this localization resource, wherever it is required you have to link it, like EPV how you implemented, no, in the BPD level or service level, no, you have to link it, otherwise like it won't be accessible.
Okay. It's same as creating one either private variable keeping hash default value. It works same as that, right?
Okay, but private variable has default value, so like if you are using the has default value, that is fixed value which will not change at any time. Okay, you can use that,
Correct.
but if it is keep on like changing, we should not use this resource bundle. Okay.
Yeah, that's what. What I'm telling is, it works in a similar way where we are assigning some hash default value to private variable. If we use that private variable inside that general system service or wherever, it gives that value, right? Same as this one, like resource bundle only, right?
Yes.
Then where we are going for this resource bundle, like any less memory kind of thing.
Like what is the thing is like if anything, like there is a practices which you are following, like we should not never whenever somebody is reviewing your code, there should not be any hard coded values in your code, something it should be replaced with some code,
Okay.
so then only you will go. And one more thing is like the resource bundle you can use it in the services, not in the BPDs. In the BPDs, we have like option to link an EPV. We don't have the link and resource. Resource you can use only in the based on in the service levels only. In the in all the service level, you can see the resource link localization. Okay, BPDs like it will be available, like EPVs are available in the both BPDs as well as services, but you have to click on the link EPV. Environment variables is something what you can say it as a global. No need of like linking or something, wherever it is required you can use it. But TW dot env dot. So we are going for like the next topic, some sub process sample. So while like whenever we are creating a BPD, so there are some best practices you need to follow. One is like remove the auto tracking, go to the overview tab, enable the tracking, you are unchecking, allow critical paths, you are unchecking. Okay. So sub-process sample. What is the purpose of the sub-process? Like there are two concepts, very important concepts. One is like sub-process, other one is like linked process. When will you go for a sub-process? When will you go for a linked process? So you are having a BPD. In that BPD, you are having the activities. Activity number one, activity number two, activity number three, activity number four. So you are having like four activities. So as of now, like I'm just connecting all them in the sequential. Suppose if there is some complex flow, if there is some complex flow, you are like building some BPD, you are building some BPD. Suppose if your BPD contains like more and more activities, then it is very difficult, then it is very difficult for the client or very difficult for the some other guys who are like in future like supporting your project to understand what was the flow of your process, to understand what was the flow of your process. So what is your intention is like, why to make your flow much more complex, why to make your flow much more complex, why to like show it in a simpler way. So first of all, let me show you like how to run this. So when I am running, so I will show you like how the tasks are generated, and then I will use the sub process and I will show you like how the tasks are getting generated. Okay, so instance has been created for me. For that instance, a task has been created. First one is like it is at token is at activity number one. I am just running that. So why what is problem here now? When you are having like more and more activities, when you are having more and more activities in your process, in the look wise or somebody wants to like understand what was the flow, it is very difficult for them to understand. So like how to make it like a much more look and feel, how to reduce the number of activities, like you should not reduce the number of activities. Why? Because all are human tasks here, all are human tasks. Human task means definitely there should be, you have to give it to the manually, you have to give it to your, give it to the user. You should not like replace that human task. So in such scenarios, in order to like make that flow accurate, and like you can go with like sub process. Okay, so before the sub process, like I'm just executing the BPD which is earlier it is there. So see here how the flow is going on, how the flow is going on. Activity number one, activity number two, activity number three, activity number four. Okay, this is the flow. So when you are changing your like flow, whenever you are making your BPD much more like look and feel, when you are making your BPD much more look and feel by going into like sub process, by going into sub process, like you are not changing the functionality. The functionality remains the same. That means after one, there should be two, all two should execute, next three, next four. The functionality will not change. So what will, the flow will not change, but look and feel will get changed. How to do that? So now see here, how many activities are there now? Four activities are there. I am just replacing these two with one activity. So I am just deleting this one. Okay, I am assuming this as a dummy activity. So here I am writing, I am giving the name as sub process. Okay, give it to end. Sub process, give it to end. Now select this sub process, go to the implementation. After going to the implementation, you can see like if you like expand this implementation, by default it is connected like default human service. There are various options: user task, system task, decision task, script, sub process, liquid process, event sub process, none. So I am just selecting the sub process here. I'm just selecting the sub process here. Okay, no data mapping. So we just selected the sub process here. What I did, I just selected that activity before it is like user task. I changed that to sub process. Okay. Now when I changed this to sub process, if I double click this, If I double click this, one more BPD is open for me. One more BPD open for me. This BPD is called as sub process. This BPD is called as sub process. Sub in the sense a process within an activity. A process within an activity. Okay. So in this sub process, what you are doing, you should not like change the functionality, no? So whatever the activities you have removed there. So activity number 2, activity number 3. I am using those activities here. Yeah. Okay. Now what happened? So you have selected sub process. After that you double click on here. You can see a small BPD again created for you, another BPD. Sub process makes you to create another BPD. So that BPD where it got created? Inside an activity. Inside an activity. Okay. So in that I have kept 2, 3. Okay. Now earlier I have like 4 activities. Now I reduce it to 3 activities, but I did not change anything like flow. Actually, like all four are sequential, I can combine all four into like subprocess also. But I want to show you like how the flow is moving. That's why I have kept it. These two I have left it in the BPD. Only this I am adding the subprocess at the middle, so that you can easily understand how the subprocess will go. Okay. But in real time, whenever you get a chance, like whenever you are using such sequential activities, you can go with like subprocess. You can put all these four in subprocess. So let me try to show you like how it is behaving. Okay, previously like one after the another it has been worked. So first activity number 1, I am running the activity number 1. Yes. See here, the token came to activity number 2. Token is showing here in sub process. If I double click there, so where was the actually the token? Inside the new BPD has been created inside an activity. There you can see your token. Okay. Next. After this, activity number 3 will get executed. Next, activity number 3. Next, activity number 4. Again, come back to like parent process. Activity number 4. So, like see here, earlier flow and this flow, nothing has been changed. The flow remains the same, but what got changed? The how you are showing it on the like in your process level, how you are showing it on the BPD level. Like why we are going for a sub process in order to reduce the complexity in viewing, or like in viewing your process, like so that in order to make your like BPD much more like clear, you are going with this sub process. Okay. So what I can call this as, this I can call it as a parent process. This I can call it as a parent process. If I go inside a sub process, as I see, one more BPD has been created. This process I can call it as child process. Under sub process sample, there is a child that is named sub process. The child named is sub process. Okay. So one more BPD is there. Is this BPD has been created here? Sub process. No. Only one BPD I have, sub process sample. So the BPD is not created here. That means the BPD, this BPD, whatever the sub process is there, this BPD inside whatever the BPD you are seeing, this is limited only to this activity. This is limited only to this activity. You have created this BPD. If somebody can use this BPD, use your child process? No, nobody can use your child process. Why? Because I can't see anywhere this one. Okay, I don't have that BPD. So what you can say like sub process is not reusable. So let me write some observations here. Okay. So what you are observing from here from subprocess? Okay, first one is subprocess is not reusable. Okay, you can't reuse it. Whatever the subprocess you have created, that is limited only to this activity. That is limited only to this activity. Sorry. That is limited only to this activity. Okay, next. Next, uh, what are the other observations you can see here? So what are the other observations I can see here? Like, okay, when I run this, functionality won't remains the same. Like the functionality remains the same, nothing is got changed after one. Again, the subprocess is getting executing after completion of the subprocess. Again, it is following this process, main process path. Now, for our understanding, I am creating some input variables out and output variables. So I am adding an input variable. This is my input 2. This is my input 1. Okay. Just for our convenience, I am taking the name as this is my output 1 and this is my output 2. Okay. This is my output 1. This is my output 2. Okay. Input 1, input 2, output 1, output 2. Now you have created this input and output in your parent process. Now I am changing the terminology. I am calling this is a parent process, and inside this sub process, whatever it is there, I am calling this as child process. Now what I did in the parent process, I have added the input and output variables. In the parent process, I have added the input and output variables. So if I go inside a child process, in the child process, is there any provision for me to add an input? No. Is there any provision for it to add an output? No. That means, what is the other observation you can see? You can't add any input and output variables inside a sub-process. Inside a sub-process or in a child process, you can't add any input and output. Second one, we can't add any input and output variables inside a child process or inside a child process. Okay. Inside a child process, you can't like add any input and output. Okay. So see here, like if I can add inside some input and output, so like here I will be having data mapping or not. So when I will get the data mapping, let me go to like leave application. In the leave application, here if I go here, I have like data mapping. I have like data mapping. Where I got that data mapping, how I got this data mapping, output mapping, how I can got. If I go inside this, if I go inside this, in the variable section, I can say only output variable I have. That's why you got the output mapping here. That means whatever the output is giving, you should map with some other local variable in your process. So similarly, if I go to the manager here, I can see two types of mapping. One is like input, other is like output. So why these two types of mappings came? If I go inside, I can see in the variable section, you have taken input variable, you have taken an output variable. As you are having one input variable, one output variable, so wherever that human service got used, so there you can see the data mapping of, you have to map with input, you have to map with that particular output. Okay. So what I mean to say is like whenever in a BPD, whatever the activity you are using, so you will be having data mapping based upon your inner service or process. Based upon your inner service or process. Okay. Now Come back to your process. So here I am having like some variables. Here I am having some variables, but when I go to some BPD, I can't see. I can see that variables, but there is no provision for me to add input and output. So what you can say, whatever the input and output variables that are created for the parent process, the same input and output variables are also used by the child process. Okay, is child in child do we have any input and output? Is it creating any input and output? The child is creating any input and output? No. Child can only use like what are the input and output that are available, but it is not creating anything. That's why if you go out, if I check here the data mapping, there won't be any data mapping. There won't be any data mapping for a sub process. Why? Because the whatever the input and output variables you are created for the main process, the same input and output variables are used by the shared process, like child process. You are not going to like create any input and output variable. You are not allowed to create any input and output variables there. So there won't be any data mapping. Why? Because inside that you are not creating any input, you are not creating any output. So this is the observation. So we can add input and output variables. We cannot add no this one. We cannot add any input and output variables inside a child process. Fine. Next. So yes, child process using input and output variables of parent process, there is no data mapping. There is no data mapping in a sub process. That's why in a sub process you can't see any data mapping. That's why whenever you select a sub process in your parent BPD, you can't see any data mapping here. Why? Because whatever the input and output variables are like defined for the parent process, it will be shared or it the same will be using by the shared process. Okay, let's go with like another option. In the main BPD, in the parent process, I am adding a private variable. In a parent process, I am adding a private variable, private one. Okay, I am adding one more private variable, private two. Okay. Now I am checking the inside like subprocess whether the private variables which I have created here, whether the private variables which I have created here are accessible to the child or not. See here, if I go inside a child process, so I can see private one, private two. I can see this in red color, okay, or something like orange type of color. So like these are like what are the private variables I have created for the parent process. Those private variables are accessible for the child process. This is what I want to say. So private variables created for parent process are accessible by child process. That means child can also see what are the private variable that got created, so it can also use in their coding. Okay, so here we are having an option to add private. We don't have action to like add input and add output. We have an option like add private. So I am adding two private variables inside a sub process, making it as private 3 and one more variable is private 4. So here I can see again in green color. This is local. This I have created in this child process. So I have created private variables, private 3, private 4. I have used inside my sub-process code. Fine. If I came out of the sub-process, so if I go to the variable section, can I see that variable 3, variable 4? No, I can't see. So what is the difference? Why you can't see this variable like variable 3 and variable 4? So whatever the private variables you are creating for a child process, these private variables are not accessible to the parent process. Okay, next, private variables created for parent process are not accessible to the created by the child process are not accessible to the parent process. Private variables created for like child process are not accessible by parent process. Parent process can't access it. Why? Because in my child process I have created private 3, private 4. If I go to like parent process, here I can't see that. Okay, this is one difference you can see. One observation. Next, other observation is like here I am linking a EPV in my parent process. In my parent process, I am just linking an EPV. I am just linking an EPV. So I am using this EPV value somewhere in my code. I am using the value of EPV in somewhere in my code. If I go to the child process, okay, if I go to the variable section, here I can't see any EPVs. So like that means the EPVs which are linked in the parent process are not like accessible to the child process. If the child want any EPVs, again the child process has to click on this link EPV. Again the child process has to click on this link EPV. Okay. So what is the next observation? EPVs linked in parent process are not accessible to the child process. So these are the various observations. We can, if somebody generally in interviews or like somebody people will ask what is the difference between sub process and linked process. You should be able to tell. So what is sub process when we go for a sub process? So like what are the observations we have found in the sub process? So these are like various options which you can find in the sub process. Is it clear, Vivek or Vamsi? Yeah, fine. Now, till we have like 15 minutes of time. So like I can go with like linked process result. I am going to create a new BPD. New BPD. This one, name is linked process. I have named this process as linked process. No, I will put linked process sample. So here from here you can also like you are having an option to rename it from here as well. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of this linked process? Better I will do one thing. I will rename this as test BPD1. Test BPD1. So there is a functionality in you are developing some project. There is a functionality that there are two BPDs, BPD1 and BPD2. Once after completion of the BPD1, like BPD2 should be started. Once after the completion of the BPD1, BPD2 should be started. Okay. So for our convenience, I am just taking one activity. For our convenience, I am just taking one activity. Here, I am just like assuming that I am at the end of the process. Call. So here I want to call test BPD2. I want to call test BPD2. So how to call the test BPD2? I can go with a linked process. So you can call like one. You can link the like pass the data from one like BPD to other BPD. If you are in a project, like if you are using like 10 to 15 BPDs in a project, if a complex project you have, like you are having like 10 to 15 BPDs. If anybody asks you like, okay, you are having like this many BPDs are there, like how you are like able to, how you are able to like connect from one BPD to another BPD. So you can say like I can connect from one BPD to another BPD using some linked process. There are like various options are there. You are going for linked process. Okay. Okay. Here, how to call a test BPD2. So I'm creating one more BPD, test BPD2. So this is my test BPD2. So here I'm having an activity called 2. Okay. Okay. Fine. This is my test BPD2. This is my test BPD1. So what I'm doing is like selecting this. I'm going to the implementation. I'm going to the implementation. So here I am changing this to linked process. I am changing this to linked process. So like what I am linking with that, I am clicking on the select. I am linking with the test BPT2. I am linking with the test BPT2. So what is that? After the execution of test BPT1, I want to call the test BPT2. That's why I linked this test BPT2. Okay. See here, only you are linking the test PPT2 or some other project also can use the test PPT2. That means you are using link by using linked process, you are linking to test PPT2. So some other project like some sub-process sample, this want to like link with like this also like wants that test PPT2. So can't it link? So this sub-process sample like forget about the name. So here also like if I want, I can go with a linked process. Here also I can link with test VPD2. That means like link sub-process like it is in there. What a sub-process like that is whatever the sub-process is there, that is limited only to a particular activity and nobody can use it. But in linked process, no, you are calling one BPD to another BPD, that is reusable. Like nobody, like not only you, like many people can also call this test BPD2. Also, if people want it, they can also call like test BPD1 as well. So what I can say, the observations in linked process, observations in linked process is first one, linked process is reusable. So anybody can call this linked process. This is reusable. That is one thing. Okay. So like how you are connecting one BPD to another BPD, if you are having like multiple BPDs in your project, you can say I'm connecting one BPD to another BPD using linked process. Okay. I'm just running. Here I'm just running the test BPD one. So a task has been generated for me. I'm just running the task. I'm just running the task. When I click on refresh, it came to like activity number 2. Actually, where is the activity number 2? The activity number 2 is in test BPT2. The activity number 2 is in test BPT2. See what I want to say here like, so BPT1 is already completed. BPT1 is already completed. Now you are in BPT2. So both the BPDs are running under same instance. Both the BPDs are running under same instance. In the same instance itself, that means an instance has been generated. Both the BPDs are running under the same instance. Is it an advantage or is it a drawback? This is an advantage. Why? Because whenever a BPD has been created, whenever a BPD has been created, how it is happening is like it will make an entry in some process DB table. It will make an entry and it will try to retrieve. Okay. So if the two BPDs are running under the same instances, no need to make an entry for other BPD. No need to like create an instance ID. Like no need to create an instance ID and make an entry in the LSW underscore BPD instance table and like in order to like retrieve it. That operation is not required. Why? Because both the BPDs are running under same instance. So in terms of performance, this will be good. So the next observation, what I can say, like both the BPDs are running under same instance. Both the BPDs are running under same instance. That is one of my main advantages. So when will you go for a sub process? In order to reduce the complexity in look and feel, look and view. Okay, when will you go for a linked process? Whenever there is a provision like I want to call one BPD to other BPD, then I will go with a linked process. Okay, running under same instance. This is like very advantage for like
This is reusable BPs, but they are limited to this process app only.
yeah, within the process app you can reuse, but sub process within the process app you can't reuse.
Yeah, yeah. Sub process is just like visualization.
Yeah,
Actually, it is inside that
yes,
BPD.
yes,
Okay. But we cannot access outside the main process, my new year process. Mhm.
yeah.
So they think reusable components are found under the toolkit, I suppose.
Yeah, reusable components you can find in the toolkit. That is different concept.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is my question is like, okay, from test BPD1 you are calling like test BPD2. So like is this like your instance is completing here or your instance is completing in the test BPD1? So we can make it much more clear by putting an activity here. So I'm putting an activity 3 here. So it is calling test BPD2. It is ending the test BPD2. After ending, it is ending at the test BPD1. So like see here again I'm running this so that you'll understand much more clearly. So in the first BPD where it is there, so in that BPD only your process will get end. So again I'm running. Okay, I'm running this step 1. So I'm clicking on done. Next it came to like test BPD2, this one. Yeah, next it came to test BPD2. So I am running this test BPD2. So once I run this BPD2, again it will come back to like test BPD1. Again it will come back to like our main BPD. So if I refresh, see here again it come back to like 3. That means what you can say like if you are having like two BPDs, always like it is running under same instance and instance is getting completed, like finally it is ending in the parent main process only. It is running like it is ending at the main process only. That is what I want to show you. Yeah, this activity 3 also get executed. Your instance got completed, all the tasks got closed. Okay, next. Next, what are the observations you can see? Okay, next. I have like some output variable. I have some output variable in my test BPD what? Add output variable, some employee of type, some employee details. So I am having an output variable, employee of type, employee details. Fine. In my test BPD2, I am having an input variable. I am having an input variable, some employee of type employee. See, both the types are same. So what is my intention? What is my intention is like, so like from test BPD1, whenever I am calling like test BPD2, here I can see some data mapping. Here I can see some data mapping. Why I am getting only input data mapping? Why I don't have output data mapping? Why? Because inside this, when I see this test BPD2, I have only input. That's why it is showing only like one data mapping, input data mapping. So I am mapping this with my like output variable, my output variables. So like you are passing data from one BPD to another BPD. Okay, data mapping is there in linked process. Is data mapping is there in the sub process? No. In sub process, input and output variables are shared, or like whatever the input and output variables are created for the parent process, the same input and output variables are used by the child process. That's why like there won't be any data mapping. But in linked process, we have data mapping. So whenever we are calling like BPD1 to BPD2, so to initiate the process of BPD2, we are passing the data to BPD2. So whatever the things got executed till now in the BPD1, like all the captured in a VO, I am passing that VO to BPD2. So when my BPD2 starts, like it will start with some like a business, some business data. So what we can say like there is data mapping. There is data mapping. You can pass data from one BPD to another BPD. You can pass data from one BPD to another BPD. Okay, this is about the linked process. It's about the linked process. Is it clear? Vamsi or like Vivek, do you have any doubts in sub process and linked process?
Yeah, Jagdish, but one question.
Okay,
Uh, when we'll go for sub process and when we'll go for
yeah.
linked process? Only when reusable thing is there, only that time?
Like for example, like you are having a requirement. You have to create like two BPDs, two processes are there. One process you have to create a case. In the second process, you have to process a case. Then when some customer is requesting for something, in the BPD1, you have to like create a case. In the BPD2, you have to process a case. So that means after the
Okay.
completion of one BPD, I have to call the other BPD. So in such
Okay.
case, I have to go with like linked process. Next, in my BPD, I am having like 10 to 15 activities. My BPD is much more complex. So like nobody can understand my BPDs, like what are the sequence lines, like everything like look going one by one, like many are there. So it is very complex to understand. So I am making it as much more clear, much more smaller by putting in a sub process. So sub process is nothing but in order to reduce the complexity in the view. That's all. Like whenever you want to like call one BPD to other BPD, then you are going with linked process.
Only for readability purpose, we'll go for sub process, right?
Yeah, only for readability purpose you are going for sub process, right? There is
Okay.
no other reason is there. Got it?
Yeah, Jagdish. Yeah, Jagdish.
Yeah, fine. Vivek, do you have any doubts? This is very important. Sub process linked process concept. Vivek,
Yeah.
yeah, fine. Yeah, this is very important. Like sub process and linked process. Generally, like while working with the projects, no. Generally definitely like without this sub linked process or sub process you won't get a like definitely there will, every project will be using this sub process and linked process. Okay, sub process like it won't cause any performance issues. Why? Because like under an activity, under a sub process you are like creating something like child process. Like functionality won't get the same functionality will be there, but in the readability wise or like in terms of like look and feel, like everybody can easily understand how the flow is moving actually. So that is with that is sub process. Linked process means like so at this point of time I want to call like some other BPD. I want to call some other BPD like so in such case you will go with like linked process. So generally people will use extensively this sub-process and linked process while developing a project. So like I'm having a requirement here in the linked process. I have made some static attachment here. I have made some static attachment here, test BPD2. So is there any provision to change my BPD which is attached dynamically? Which is attached dynamically. That means I am having like two variables A, B, A value 10, B value 20. That means A is less than B, I want to call BPD1. A is greater than B, I want to call BPD2. A is equal to B, I want to call BPD3. That means based upon my inputs, like the calling BPD has to be changed. It should not be static like this. So then we can go for like dynamic linked process. So you can, where you can implement that in the process behavior, you can see something called as concept called dynamic subprocess. Tomorrow we are going to implement that. Tomorrow we are going to implement that. What are the functionality now I discuss. So dynamically you can change the BPD that you attached. Okay. uh, Tomorrow we can discuss this. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, then we'll meet in tomorrow's session then at the same time.
Yeah, okay, Jagdish.
Thanks, Vivek. Thanks, Hamza. Thank you.
Anyways.